Hello everyone, my name is Winda and right now I'm going to present my analysis of inflectional morphemes in the TD education video how sugar affects the brain. So first of all, the background of this study is excessive sugar consumption is a major health concern globally right now, and a lot of people didn't even realize what sugar actually do to our body, and obesity is one of the few examples. And in the TD education video of how sugar affects the brain, narrated by Nicole Avena, she explains how sugar affects our brain and body through the reward systems and dopamine release. And in linguistic terms, the video uses scientific and narrative language rich in morphological structures. Morphology itself helps analyze internal word structures and how inflectional morphemes express grammatical relationship. A morphological analysis of inflectional morphemes can uncover a pattern in word formations using variation in verb tense, the pluralizations, and other grammatical functions. And these elements of formation plays a crucial or important role for connecting ideas, explaining the causal process, even supporting understanding in scientific discourse. Given by this video, we can understand how inflectional morphemes are used to create meaning and preserve language coherence is important. As we can see in the slide, the last one, the number 5, it tells by understanding morphology in this video helps reveal how language supports scientific explanations and coherence. And my research questions is to one is what type of inflectional morphemes are used in the TD education video how sugar affect the brains. The second one is how do these morphemes function in the video to express grammatical meaning and support scientific explanations. So the descriptive is the research object is the TD education video of how sugar affects the brain, and it contains a lot of various inflectional morphemes that express tense, number, aspect, and comparisons. For example, is in verbs, the word is activate, send, travels. Nouns is molecules, receptors, or foods. The adjective is healthier, hotter, and different. And these forms keep the narrations grammatical correct and easy to understand. And because of the narration employs a relationship between descriptive language and scientific, it provides with rich language data source for analyzing of inflectional morphemes can support the meaning and popular to use in science discourse. And these morphological patterns observed in this narrative reflect of how language structures scientific information and enhance comprehensions through systematic word formations. Okay, so by this theoretical framework, morphology studies the internal structures of words divided into free and bound morphemes, and these inflectional morphemes belong to the bound ones. They don't create new words, but rather it changes word forms to show grammatical meaning. For example, it's like as, ed, and ink. And in English, there are 8 inflectional morphemes such as plural, as, past, ed, and comparative, er, and they maintain accuracy and coherence in language, especially in science explanations. This objective of research is the research intends to analyze how the inflectional morphemes enhance the coherence meaning when explaining science information. The video tells an informative base for understanding the purpose of morphological in combination of scientific and narrative discussion. Thus, this research also explores how to figure it out of inflectional morphemes might be used to make some complicated scientific concept becomes more understandable for general audience and to make and more interesting, and to be expected that this kind of approach will develop more knowledge of the connection between scientific concept and linguistic form, to be precise in the context of popular science communication. Also, the benefit of this research is it could be served as a reference for future linguistic studies related to morphological, especially in inflectional morphemes. Also, it can be contribute to educators and develop the effectivity of methods for word formations, and it might inspire others to explore the relationship between linguistic and scientific. Okay, the next slide is the analysis table. Okay, by this analysis table, we can see the frequent that used in the video is the plural as, es, ies with 34 words or 50.7%. For example, the words is cookies, candies, etc. The second higher is the third person singular as with 20 words or 29.9%. The word example is makes, happens, affects, etc. The third one is past tense, ed or en with 7 words or 10.4%. Example is piled, added, consumed, etc. The fourth one is progressive, ing with only 4 words or 6%. The word example is eating and leading. And the last and the least one is possessive, as with only 2 words or 3%. The word is brains in bodies. And the data itself shows the plural inflectional morphemes as, es, or ies is the most frequently that used in the video narrative with 34 words in total or 50.7% with half of the chart percentage all of inflectional morphemes identified. This high percentage show that plural forms play a huge role in the narration of how sugar affects the brain. The frequency use of plural nouns such as candies, cookies, nutrient, receptor, labels, products, dessert, and many more reflects of how the video describes multiple examples, scientific elements, and process rather than focus on singular elements. This means that the narrator emphasized generalizations and categorizations exploring the scientific concept clearly. Okay, so in summary, by this analysis table, we can take the conclusion in summary by the data above reveals how the video heavily relies on plural and third person singular forms to maintain accuracy, coherence, and grammatical consistency in scientific explanations. The frequency of using inflectional morphemes shows how morphology has great contribution to the structural accuracy and readable of educational discourse, allows the narrator to present the complex biological informations in a linguistic with clear and organized manner. So next slide is the analysis revealed 5 types of inflectional morphemes in the TD education video. Among them, the plural form SES or IES appeared most frequently, showing its important role in describing general scientific concepts. These inflectional morphemes contribute not only to grammatical accuracy but also to the clarity and coherence of the explanations. Overall, morphology plays a crucial or important role in making scientific information more structured, understandable, and engaging for the general audience. And generally, this mini research to indicates that inflectional morphology also contribute not only in the grammatical functions but also to the effectiveness of communication of scientific discourse. By means of the consistent and the aims use of inflectional morphemes, the narrator of this video is able to explain the complexity of biological process in a clear, structured, and approachable way. Therefore, by understanding the role of inflectional morphemes in educational materials, just like in TD education video, could help linguistic learners and educators to appreciate of how morphology supports meaning and clarity in the real-world communications. So the next slide is my reference of the mini research, and that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you.